Hello, and welcome to our reviews. Today we'll be re-reviewing the very mighty Marvel Select Juggernaut. So yeah, this Juggernaut was probably one of my favorite Marvel Selects ever because he's just really awesome looking. Articulation's not great, but it's mostly because he's massiveness incarnate, you might even say, and he's really heavy and stuff like that. But you know, articulation not too great, but you can get him into some poses if you want to. And he's just a really big, awesome-looking hunk of plastic. So, let's move for the articulation, details, scope paint, all that kind of stuff. Alright, here we have the Juggernaut. As you can see, he is pretty awesome-looking, detail-wise, and he is very massive. Let's do a size comparison real quick to an average-size Marvel Select. And here we have the Marvel Select Cyclops. So, as you can see, Juggernaut towers over him, as Juggernaut rightly should, and he destroys Cyclops with the might of his mightiness. Get out of here. So, yeah, you can see that he is very massive. Sculpt-wise, very nice detailing and armor-looking textures on the upper chest bit and on the pants. Lower chest bit's kind of a leathery bit. It's got lots of nice little dark paint shading in there. You can see some similar armory kind of stuff on the bands on his arms, hands, things like that. I will zoom in on some more details in a minute. Now on the shoes, he has that similar sort of leathery texture. And something that I thought was interesting is that he has actual treads sculpted into the bottom of his shoes, which look really nice. So yeah, that's the basic outside detail of the figure. Let's just turn him around real quick so you can get a full view of him. And then we can zoom in on some of the other details, like the face inside the helmet, and maybe some other stuff. Alright, looking deep inside the helmet there, you can see a very angry Cain Marko staring out of it, ready to bash things and do the other things that Juggernaut does. You know, the things that aren't bash things, even if there aren't any of those. But he's going to bash some things. Some more fine detail on the hands. You can see the thumbnail and just some more detail on, like, the bands. And I could be here all day showing you the awesome detail on the figure. But we should probably move on, as I do have other things to do, I think. I don't know, maybe I don't. But I should. So, yeah, let's move on to the articulation. Alright, moving on to articulation. Juggernaut's head will turn all the way around, even though it is in this fancy helmet-like thing. Shoulders will go in and out, forward and back. It's got a nice bicep cut here. Single joint elbow. Nothing in the wrist, probably to preserve the way they did the bands, I imagine. He has a fairly useless diaphragm joint. It only turns about that much and does not bend forward and back at all. His hip joints can move forward and back and side to side. He has an upper thigh cut, single joint knees. And then down at the ankle, he has this piece that moves sort of side to side. It's kind of like an ankle pivot, but not like the more recent ones. And it does not move any other direction. It can rotate, but it doesn't have a hinge like a proper ankle joint would. So his articulation's not bad. It's lacking in a few areas, but they wanted to preserve the sculpt, I imagine, which is a very key feature of this figure, as it is probably the best-looking Juggernaut figure in existence. Juggernaut only comes with one accessory, and it's pretty pathetic, I'll say. Let's move on to it really quick. Alright, if you have Hulk, or old Hulk that is, you've probably seen something like this before. It's essentially just a cardboard piece on a little gray stand. It's double-sided. It's got an explosion on one side and a destroyed city on the other. A very small backdrop, not really big enough to even really be used with this scale figure. You might could use them for Marvel Universe figures, maybe. They would probably look better that way, because they're actually the right size, because this is like up to like Juggernaut's waist. It's like nothing. So, yeah, I would have preferred a base, but I guess since they use so much plastic to make Juggernaut, they didn't have enough room for bases or anything of that nature, so we get cardboard things. Anyway, let's move on to the packaging. Once again, we have our standard Marvel Select packaging. You've got your big window. Picture of Juggernaut down there at the bottom. Juggernaut along the side. Marvel Select logo. On the side, you've got some artwork of Juggernaut, which is not too great. On the back, you've got a picture of the figure, a picture of the variant face down here, which is just an unhelmeted version. I don't know why they didn't just make his helmet removable. Probably so they could make more money. Deadpool and Cyclops, which I have both of. Picture Juggernaut, description. That's pretty much it. Just your standard sort of packaging from Marvel Select, always nice to look at. So, yeah. Juggernaut. Alright, that about wraps it up for the Juggernaut. So until next time, he's the Juggernaut, bitch! Yeah!
Hello, you've just watched one of my videos. Feel free to like and comment and subscribe and all those sorts of things if you enjoyed my video. If you didn't, run away and never return. Also, feel free to check out my other channels, Venom Raptor for all my variety gaming content, and VR Reviews for reviews of various action figures and collectibles. Thank you, and goodbye.